Hello friends, this is Apurva the Book Hunter and I'm back today with another video and another book. This is known as Warlight. It's a work of fiction by Mr. Michael Ondaatje, the famed writer of The English Patient, which won the Man Booker Prize in 1992 for fiction. And incidentally, this novel was also selected for Man Booker Prize in 2018 but ultimately lost to Anna Burns Milkman, which I'm currently reading. But that's not a cause for grief because I think this novel is like among the best of the best. I mean, it's one of the most beautiful works of fiction that I've ever read. I mean, I would place it like at the top with Amitabh Ghosh, Kiran Desai, and the lot. So the plot is like something like this. It's post-war, like post-World War II Britain, London, and two youngsters, like they are in their early teenage years, Rachel and Nathaniel. They are left by their parents in the care of like dubious guardians while their parents disappeared to God knows where. And these guardians, like the Moth and the Pimlico Darter, they are called. So they are dubious personalities and they are small time criminals. And they are kind of a colorful characters. And slowly, Nathaniel and Rachel grow up in their under their care and grow into these underground world. They get to know the underground world and they kind of start to enjoy themselves and they have such experiences and all that. But slowly we see a lot of events happening in their life that shake their foundations, and um, like there are a lot of revelations happen. And after that the story veers towards Nathaniel and his mother, and the others get into the background. I cannot give you more details because I would kind of spoil the whole novel. But the novel, I think, why do I think this is one of the best works of the fiction that I've ever read? Because of the characters. These characters are absolutely wonderful. I mean, like Pimlico Darter and Moth are just the, like top of them. I mean, I personally liked Agnes and Pimlico Darter, but all the characters, each of the characters, they are, have been crafted wonderfully. I mean, they don't feel like unreal, like fictionally. They are so visceral. Like you can almost you think almost they're real. I mean, I cannot get the fact out of my mind. There are so many interesting characters in there, and basically, this is a wonderfully researched book. I mean, there are a lot of historical anecdotes and a lot of war, like the Pimlico Darter and the Moth. They were kind of like war heroes. They helped with the war effort in World War II, but now they just they are involved with dog race and smugglings, and uh, they are. This story is not just about the post-war civil life or just underground life or like that. It actually is about the post-war effects. I mean, what kind of effects a world war would leave in the citizens? I mean, not just among the citizens of the vanquished, but also the allies. I mean, what happens to the citizens of the allies? Even after war, you see that the scars that are left by the war are not exactly just the physical scars. There are deep psychological scars that remain within the mind of those that were involved in the war or saw the war. And even what is worse is that these wounds are not limited to just them. It extends to the next generation, to the people surrounding them. You also get to know that during war, I mean, I like the way he describes how during war, I mean, no side is actually evil or like good. I mean, they all perform such atrocities. I mean, they mentioned about Trieste massacres and all the help that Britain was giving to partition Yugoslavs to fight against fascists and how that ended up. I mean, it's an extensively researched work. I think I just can't help comparing him to Amitabh Ghosh, but I kind of feel the same vibe coming from his writing. And I think this narrative, the slow revelations, the pace of the novel is kind of interesting because it's kind of slow in the beginning, picks it up a little bit, and then there's this kind of revelations and shocking events are occurring near the middle, and after that it slackens off, but slowly the story starts to unfold itself. And the epiphanies and the realizations and the wounds that they produce. And I think the best part of the book is kind of, at the ending chapters, the near the conclusion, it gets even better. I mean, that's where I was absolutely mesmerized by the writing style of Michael Ondaatje. He produced the best at the last. I mean, he was waiting for it. I absolutely love this book. I mean, I think it is one of the best work of fiction I've ever read, and I can't really see why it lost to Anna Brown's Milkman. Uh, but anyways, I mean, if you want to read an interesting piece of fiction with a kind of a historical inputs and war scenarios, I absolutely love novels with war scenarios. Maybe that's one of the reasons I picked this up. Then you can read this. I mean, I think this is one of the best work of fiction in 2018, and just the characters are just wonderful. I think you cannot help yourself from falling in love with Pimlico Darter. With this note, I'll leave you with Warlight. If you want to read this book, I mean, you will be enlightened and thrilled. I mean, you won't regret it. Um, if you like my video, just give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to share, and if you want, please subscribe. I'll be back with another book very soon. Until then, this is Apurva the Book Hunter, and I'll be reading Milkman next. Wait for it. Bye.